Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first full week of the month of July 2025. This is Litter Media Live on Facebook. Mike Smith along with Aaron Glandon. Dan Ramey is on a well-deserved R&R this week. And hopefully his summer vacation goes better than last year's.
Yeah, we're all hoping.
He was all laid up for a long time after that vacation. Yeah. And it wasn't that he had anything strenuous. He had back issues. So Dan, our prayers for a great vacation with the family this week. A lot has been taking place over the holiday weekend. You were kept pretty busy with some things that we're going to be talking about here in just a little minute. And we had a little bit of a respite from the rain, but guess what? It's Ohio, and it's back. And we are expecting some showers or a chance of rain almost every day this week. And that starts with the possibility of actually some severe weather this afternoon. We don't think this will hit until possibly mid to late afternoon into this evening tonight. Possible locally heavy rains and some high winds are possible. But again, there's a chance of rain each day this week with temperatures moderating just a bit. It'll get up to about 90 today and then start to cool off with this stormy weather that's moving in throughout parts of the state. But over the balance of the rest of this week, we're looking at temperatures in the mid-80s for daytime highs. When we come back, we'll start off on this long laundry list of topics that we have from over the weekend. If you have littermedia.com as a website that you bookmark, you know already what we're going to be talking about. All that coming up next on Litter Media Live. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor for more than 4 decades. Not only just in the Scioto Valley, as they were for many years, they've stretched their wings out to different parts of Ohio, central Ohio, western Ohio, all the way down into the southern counties, down along the Ohio River into eastern Ohio. Whether it's residential or maybe even business, you're building a new business. Your business has needs for these 3 categories. Give Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing a call for your assistance that you need.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Pain was interfering with Tiffany's active lifestyle. Same-day hip replacement at the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute got her back to the community she calls home. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Going on right now is Hometown Motors Incorporated's spring sales event, which has extended into the summer sales event. While supplies last, they have new riding tractors starting at $1699.99, new zero-turn mowers starting at $3399.99, walk-behind starting at $399.99, chainsaws starting at $279.99, new blowers starting at $199.99, trimmers starting at $229.99, $229.99. Did I say 99 too many times?
I was blanking out.
All right. Hurry in to get the best selection because with prices like this, they're not going to last long. Hometown Motors Incorporated, your store for the outdoors.
I'm just watching Aaron on Facebook. For those of you who lost us on Facebook for actually a few months.
The last time we did it before we switched to YouTube was February 10th.
And that wasn't by a choice. There was a technical glitch that we finally, months later, have figured out. So
Yes.
Welcome back to those of you that couldn't see us on YouTube, which is also a free service.
Right.
But I know we've had a lot of folks weighing in that they're glad to see us back live on Facebook. So welcome back.
But we still have stuff on our YouTube.
Yes.
And you should subscribe, because then you can see this year's Chillicothe City fireworks display from the 4th of July, which I got up yesterday. You know, I would have had this up earlier, but one of my SD cards didn't want to cooperate with my computer.
Oh.
So I had to put it in my laptop and upload the file to Google Drive and then download it before I could start to work. And my upload speed at home is not very good.
Now, where are you set up for this video?
I'm about 100 feet away from the cakes, is what they call them, that launch the fireworks up into the sky.
So you're looking pretty much straight up with your camera?
Pretty much,
From that
yeah.
angle point?
Yeah.
Now, your guesstimate, the people on the flood wall.
There were tons of people there. And I was sat up on the flood wall while the fireworks were going on, and it looked like they were going to fall onto me. It looked like you were watching a 3D movie. Really cool.
Yeah. So I know they had, and this is, if you're watching on our Facebook or YouTube site, you'll see the long list of sponsors who put up a lot of money to make this fun event all come to pass. So congratulations, another great job by the Chillicothe Rotary Club and all of those sponsors that they were able to line up to make July 4th a festive event for everybody that watched.
Yes.
Caleb Johnson, who is the scriptwriter for Tecumseh, and Kevin Snyder, the music composer, was a recent guest on our special edition, talking about the upcoming special production Echoes of the Sea, which will be at Sugarloaf Mountain Amphitheater July the 20th.
Like I said, it was a long process where we were kind of learning this stuff ourselves. But when Caleb talked to me about the original smaller production that we were doing, it was very much so like, hey, can you go listen to this YouTube clip where like these people are singing this shanty, and then maybe like use your music ear to pick out what those harmonies are and teach it to the cast to sing in the show. And so we just did that when we were performing it, you know, just by ourselves for our friends. But then when Tecumseh picked it up to produce for a performance this summer, we were kind of starting to look at all of the things that we need to do, which includes sort of clearing everything that you need copyright wise and making sure you're not like stealing somebody else's intellectual property to use in a performance. And as we were doing that, it kind of went, oh, these are all old sea shanties. They're in the public domain. And then you find out, oh no, that one's actually like a folk song from the 70s. That one is not quite old enough to be in the public domain. This one, the song's in the public domain, but that melody was actually written by someone else for a specific version of that song for that performance. So it just, one by one, it kind of just became every song, except for one on the show, but Caleb can talk about that a little bit, is either an original song by me or like an arrangement that I wrote of an old shanty.
And just to clarify, Caleb is the scriptwriter for Echoes of the Sea, but he is in Tecumseh,
Yes,
correct?
they're both in Tecumseh.
Yeah. And they look the part, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And if you want to see that production, Echoes of the Sea, it's one night only on July 20th, so don't dilly-dally. This weekend, coming up starting Thursday, is the Picktown Palooza, and I went to Pickerington last week to talk to Chris Stein about it. Picktown Palooza is a 3-day celebration of the community that offers a variety of fun and entertainment. Whether it's the food vendors, the national entertainment lineup, the Freedom 5K, or the car, truck, and bike show, the Palooza has something for everyone, but not the kids, because this year it's an 18 and older event.
Now, I see what it looks like the football stadium in the background. Is this the high school?
Yes, where we're standing right there in the parking lot is where the stage is going to be.
Gotcha.
And it's a big event, and they have some good names in music. One of the people from Poison is going to be there this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were up there last year?
I was.
A piece on this?
I don't remember who the headliner was last year, but it was someone I've heard of. I recognize the name.
Very good. So check that up in Pickerington, or as they refer to as Picktown. Chillicothe Civic Theatre presents Matilda the Musical, running July the 10th through the 13th at Chillicothe High School. They join forces with the Ross County Job and Family Service Office to shine a spotlight on the real-life heroes in our community, such as those in foster care, kinship, and adoptive families. During every performance, you'll find an information table staffed by representatives from Ross County JFS, ready to share resources, answer questions, and connect with anyone curious about fostering or adoption. Now, you can donate through their PayPal account, which can be found on, see the QR code there on our screen? Go to that, and you can help out. Also, you can find the Adopt a Seat Matilda on that memo. And by the way, the price of a ticket for this upcoming show is $17.50.
The Ohio Department of Transportation has announced $137.5 million in funding for 55 new traffic safety projects in 41 counties across the state, with 5 of those in our region.
As you're looking at the map, you can see included on that is Pickaway, Fayette County. Fayette County has a roundabout that's going to be going in on State Route 41 at Bloomingburg, if you're familiar with that area over there. Also in news today, the Ross County Historical Society is bringing stories to life with a magical afternoon designed to speak about those who love to read and some of the great stories that we've enjoyed over the years. Join them on Saturday, July the 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. Again, that's at the Ross County Heritage Center. This is their junior member program. And this is the neat part. Families will have a chance to meet beloved characters from the classic The Wizard of Oz. So, Dorothy, I don't know if they got Toto there or not.
Who's your favorite Wizard of Oz character?
Oh, the Wizard, without question. Yeah. Now, a lot of people like the Scarecrow. Ray Bolger played that in the movie. But I was partial to not the nasty wizard, but the wizard as we saw him at the end of the production. Yeah. Because he was just like one of us.
Yeah. I like the Tin Man.
He was good.
Yeah.
He was good.
Scioto County Commissioner Kathy Coleman has sadly passed away late last week. Funeral arrangements will be shared once available. And you were saying earlier, Mike DeWine has ordered all Ohio flags at half staff.
Yeah, that note went out from the governor just prior to us going on the air this morning. By the way, we do now have since gotten the notice. Funeral will be this Friday at 11 a.m. at the Nauvoo Methodist Church in West Portsmouth. Friends may call the Roger Davers Funeral Home the night before, Thursday, from 2 to 8 p.m. Of course, Kathy, the Scioto County Commissioner, is known to government officials, all over southern Ohio, as well as obviously in Columbus, or the governor wouldn't have done what he did. But again, flags flying at half staff on all state buildings in honor of Kathy Coleman and her passing. Culvert replacement project begins today on State Route 28 between Porter Hollow Road and Harper Station Road. Route 28 will be closed for the duration of the project. Traffic will be detoured via State Route 41 to US 50. And completion is probably around July 18th. Now, we're on early today because Aaron and I have an assignment over at Greenfield, and we got to be there a little before 1 o'clock. This road report, if you had gone from here to Greenfield on 28, you would have really gotten a bad detour. So by him coming to Frankfort to meet me, we're going to go on 138. So that's something that you'll be seeing on our Facebook. I don't know, whenever you can soon get that loaded. But
yes.
What we're working on today is something of a historical note, a little bit different than our markings of history, although we may kill two birds with one stone while we're over there. But something that I think you railroad history fans will enjoy. That's coming up sometime here in the next week or so. When we come back, a brief look at sports, all ahead on Litter Media Live. Scioto Valley Dumpsters, the ghost map there in the back, Ross and surrounding counties. Carl can cover you there if you need an orange dumpster to get that cleanup project going, or maybe it's something you started last year and you want to get completed this year. Not just for residential, but business. You can use that too. Give him a call for a free estimate at 253-8389, Scioto Valley Dumpsters.
Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today. Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
Tecumseh. Fascinating. Captivating. Mesmerizing. Tecumseh.
Turning over to sports, it's All-Star Week in the Prospect League, not the Major Leagues. That's next week for them. The Paints, who've struggled in their first half of the season, continue to do so. They lost to the Cape Catfish last night by a score of 8-3. So Chillicothe is now idle because of the All-Star break. All-Star game is this week in Springfield. The Paints resume play on July 10th with a doubleheader against Johnstown.
And the Reds, you have more written down over here than I do. I don't have any details on all this
Actually,
stuff.
all I have is that they lost 3-1. They were tied 1-1. Chase Burns pitched very, very well, and the bullpen blew it for us. 2-run homer that cost us the ball game. So the Phillies win that weekend series 2-1. The Reds return home tonight to face the Florida Marlins. Talk about slumps. The Cleveland Guardians have now lost 10 in a row. It looked like they were going to beat the Tigers. They needed one more out, and the floodwaters poured in. The Tigers popped up a bunch of runs. 7-2 the final. So Cleveland, having lost 10 straight, will take on the Astros to start their series, hoping to snap that 10-game losing streak.
And the Guardians were real good last year. What happened?
It's one of those things.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's injuries or what the deal is, but they are limping along. When we come, oh, no, that's right. All-Star break is next week. But we did hear about a couple of Ohio players that have been named to the All-Star team. Stephen Kwan of the Guardians. It's his second trip to the All-Star game. And on the flip side, for the National League, Ellie De La Cruz making his second trip to the All-Star game, representing the National League. So congratulations. There may be a pitcher or two from those two franchises. Abbott's a strong candidate for the Reds to possibly be named, but the pitchers are always named a little bit later. That word could come out possibly as early as today. So keep watching our Litter X for that kind of information.
Yes.
When we come back, we're going to take you back to 1930. Not something that Aaron would have seen in 1930, but something that he did see in person on his way to L.A.
Yes.
That's This Date in History, coming up next on Litter Media Live.
First, we want to tell you about Litter Quality Propane, online all the time. Customer payment, account information, and more. Log on at litterpropane.com.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, oh, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
This Date in History. Since you've been to this place, why don't you do the honors for this?
This Date in History, 1930, July 7th. Building begins on the future site of the Hoover Dam, which you can see pictured here. Over the next 5 years, a total of 21,000 men would work ceaselessly to produce what would be the largest dam of its time, as well as one of the largest man-made structures in the world.
Now, this picture that you took, it looks like you're on a bridge somewhere, but where is that in relation to the dam?
There's a bridge, because it's near Boulder City, Nevada, which is where I was staying for the night. And we crossed this bridge to get there, and I looked to my right, and there's the Hoover Dam. And the bridge has a walkway that you can get on overlooking the dam. And it's one of those things that you need to see it in person to really understand the scale of it, because it's absolutely huge.
Now, can you drive on the dam?
You can drive on it, and I did do that. Drove right across it.
I saw that in a movie from 1941 or 42. It was an Alfred Hitchcock movie, Saboteur. It's there. These Nazi saboteurs are trying to blow up iconic things across the United States, and that was one of them. But back then, they called it Boulder Dam, not Hoover Dam.
Because it's in Boulder City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, of course, they later renamed it Hoover Dam because it was built during his administration.
Well, 1930.
Did you read up on any of the construction, about the history of the construction while you were there? Did they have signs talking about that?
No, I didn't see any.
They claim, and this might have been on Modern Marvels, that the amount of concrete that they poured into this dam to make the dam, it was poured in at such a speed that concrete is still hot inside the dam.
I have heard that before.
Can you imagine that? That was almost 100 years ago, and that concrete is still hot down in there. It's still settling. And I think maybe they lost a worker. I think that's correct. Which,
I wouldn't be surprised.
For that time, if they lost only one, and I don't know, there may have been more, that would have been incredible. So, one of the modern marvels of American ingenuity. The Hoover Dam started on this date in 1930.
You really should go see it in person if you get the chance.
And that's Lake Mead behind it, I think.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I got to see the sunrise right over the Hoover Dam.
Maybe sunrise or sunset?
Well, I was there in the morning when the sun was rising. I think it was because my eyes were hurting when I was on the bridge looking at it. So I think it was coming up that way.
He's like a little newborn kitten. His eyes don't that early in the morning. All right, that's going to do it again. We got an early start today because we've got an assignment over in Greenfield, Ohio, which you'll see that work completed here in the next few days or so. So we'll be back with you with a special edition tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. We're going to be talking with Andrew Baker of the local group All the Things, talking about their August 16th event down in Chillicothe's Yaktangi Park. So special edition at 10 tomorrow morning, and then the daily program somewhere around 11. Until that time, for Aaron Glandon, this is Mike Smith saying, see you tomorrow, everybody. And again, keep an eye on possible severe storms later this afternoon. From all of us at Litter Media Live, have a good Monday, everybody.